Welcome back to some more battles. We are in the Scroll Cup again, and today we got a team from our community. They suggested this team so that we can try it out, and it's pretty interesting. We got the Galarian Farfetch'd, and we have the Lanturn paired with the Shadow Annihilape. So basically ABA fighters, but this Farfetch'd knows a lot of core breaking moves. As you can see here, we get the early shield, and our opponent does go for the Icy Wind and dip. So at this point, we're going to fire off a Leap Blade, and then we're going to head into our Lanturn, basically guaranteeing the alignment. They're going to go for a big move here. Thunderbolt does go through. Doesn't quite KO, so we're going to be able to breach this Thunderbolt and barely not take it out, but we get the farm down, which is kind of nice. And now we actually see the ground type in the back, and because we are running Water Gun, this is going to deal some good chip damage, and we are not going to allow the farm down, so we are going to switch right out into the Annihilape. We shield the potential Water Pulse, and they are forced to switch out into their Dugong, which is tanking super effective fast move pressure. We always shield here, and we're gonna look if we can get the farm down. We do get the farm down, and our opponent realizes that is GG. So well played by us. The team comes in clutch. Farfetch'd kind of core breaking their team, as you can go back and remember. The Lanturn and the Gastrodon did not want to see that Farfetch'd. All right, next we have another good lead here. Quagsire into the Farfetch'd. Our opponent does stay in, so we are either going to get the KO or shield here, and our opponent does know we are running a leaf move, so they decide to shield once. They go for the Mud Bomb, and then they swap out into the Zweilous. So Zweilous trying to bait out some fairies, I'm assuming, but we're not going to allow that Dragon Pulse to go through. We one show farm down, come out with a ton of energy. They still have the Quag, and we're going to go for this Ice Punch, dealing a little bit more damage as we are not boosted at all. And we are able to get to another Rage Fist. It looks like it was Cap Tie. Okay, and looks like we get met with a Charmer. This Charmer, unfortunately, is hiding behind a shield, and we're just kind of feeling it out at this point to see if we need to throw Thunderbolt or not. And it looks like we can just go for serves, even though they're resisted. They're so low, and this is looking like a very fragile Pokemon to deal with, and that's indeed the case. 2 serves gets them into the low red, and you can see right there, Disarming Voice, even though it's neutral, still is not enough to take us out. So GG's to our opponent, able to somehow avoid our Charmer into our fighters. So really lucky. We had 2 fighters, and it perfectly avoided the 1 charm. All right, next we're gonna have Galarian Farfetch'd into the Azu. This is okay, because we're not really worried about the fast move pressure. We are able to get to this Leap Blade before they can get to their move, so we know that this is only Ice Beam. We can tank the first one, and that's indeed the case. They swap out into the Mana Buzz. This Mana Buzz is going to run into our Lanturn. Let's see what moveset they're running. Dark Pulse is revealed. However, they are running the Air Slash fast move, so that means that we are not really taking any fast move damage, and maybe this is an opportunity to farm down. They go for another Dark Pulse, and it looks like we're just going to fire off a Surf here. We have a ton of energy, so much so that we are going to get the switch out into the Quag. Our opponent does have the shield advantage. Okay, this catch here is interesting because we were going to throw Rage Fist into Azu anyway, so it wasn't honestly the ideal catch, because you can see here we did a chunk of damage, and we have the option of shielding and okay, actually they still have a shield, so maybe we needed to let that go actually. So yeah, we need to let that go, or we need to throw the move with our Annihilape. So GG's to our opponent. Honestly, misplayed that honestly with the Annihilape. Should have thrown a move to get that last shield, and then we were very close to another Leaf Blade with our Farfetch'd. So could have cleaned that up a little bit better. Next, we're going to have Farfetch'd into Shadow Annihilape. This is probably the worst case scenario because, I guess a Charmer in the lead is pretty bad too, but we are just not really doing any fast move pressure at all, and they can easily just one shield and get the attack boost. And now we have no choice but to go into our Lanturn to just soak up all this damage. Maybe we can get a second shield, but they probably let this go. Yeah, down goes the Annihilape. Oh no. And of course we see a Charmer in the back. That is really unlucky. And down goes our team with 2 shields remaining. So GG's. Unfortunately, the ideal play was to at least shield once on that Farfetch'd, but there's no way we would have predicted Annihilape and a Charmer in the back. Okay, this lead here, not the best, but we are going to have some damage to go through. The Break does a decent amount considering all things, and we get the debuff. So now we're going to go into this Lanturn. This Lanturn is going to be able to resist their fast move. However, is it too much to ask for a big farm down? It is debuffed. So let's see what we do here. They are running the foul play version, and you can see right here we are at 100 energy, and before they get to another move, we're just going to fire off this Surf. We do have Surf or Thunder Bolt banked, and now we're going to have the interesting backline. Shadow Annihilape into this Palmute, and they did build it to 2 moves, so we are just going to expend the shield here, and now we know why, because they have something really weak to our Annihilape. And this time we're not going to play around. We're going to fire off all this energy. Down goes all the shields, and we are able to get this Morpeko about 50%. Remember, we still have a move banked. We're going to go for the Surf immediately. Is this enough? Yes, it is. So GG's Starbun able to win that game with the Lanturn over farm. Check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.